So, how do you start an email list? This is a question I get a lot from a lot of my clients and my students. And hi, I'm Tori. I'm your digital marketing coach. And today we're going to talk about how to start an email list. But we're going to go a little bit deeper. I want to talk about what it is, where you can build a list, why you'd want to, and then which email service provider should you choose. So, what is it? So, an email list is a literal list of emails. And this list you're going to build on what is called an email service provider. Now, normally when we think that, especially if you're brand new to email list building, keep in mind that this is not Gmail, it's not Yahoo. You are looking for a specific an email service provider that you can email to a large group of people. So we're not talking about using the BB or the CC on Gmail, Yahoo. We're building this to where you can email a lot of different people without having to share their emails with each other. It helps with safety, it helps with efficiency, and it helps with communication. And that kind of leads me into why would you want to invest your time and your energy and some money into an email list? So email is still, even with the growth of social media, email is still one of the top ways to get eyes on your offers, whether you're a pattern designer, a teacher, a longarm quilter. If you want to build a business online, you want to sell your courses online, you want to sell your products, your services online, having an email list is the number one way to sell those products. Why? Because I'm going to say the open rate is probably the number one reason. So keep this in mind. When you post on social media, about 10% to 15% of your audience sees it. Now, there's a few outliers, like you might have a reel go really big. You may even go viral, especially if you're learning more about the ins and outs of how one social media platform really works. You can build and build and build. However, not a huge percent of your audience is going to see that content. So it's a big push. It's more of a the more you create, the better, but you still want to make it quality. With email, the open rate for an average email account in the creative industry is around 30%. My clients specifically get between 48% and 65% open rate. Now, I'm going to say that this is because crafters love their craft, their hobbies. So when they get an email from someone who inspires them, someone who is there to help teach them, to give value in their email newsletters, and to talk to them like they are a personal friend who has fun with their emails and emails them regularly so they don't forget who you are. Those emails are the ones that move towards that 65%. The reason why our email rate is so high, again, is because the people we're emailing love their craft and they're excited to hear from you. So when you hear that percentage range versus the percentage range for those that see your content on social media, it's an easy comparison to see that email is still the top way to connect with your audience. It's not the only way, but it's one of the top ways, especially if you're emailing them regularly and you're providing value, which we can go into in a different video. I also teach about that in my digital marketing coaching program. Okay, so what is it? Where is it? It's an email service provider. Why? We just went over that. And then which one? Okay, so there are a ton of email service providers out there. I would ask if you have some business friends, ask which ones they're using and start there. If you don't have business friends yet, if you're brand new to business in the quilting industry and you're like, I don't know what anyone uses. I personally use MailerLite. I also use my platform for my website is Wix, and they have their own email service inside of it. I use both of those to keep my business running. So I'm going to go ahead and link MailerLite below this video. It could be a great one for you to start with. It is on the lower price end, and they price currently, and this may change in the future. So if you're watching this video years from now, the pricing structures are probably going to shift and change. So go check out their websites. They all have pricing tables that compare each of their plans and then pick the one that works for you. Many of them still have free options where you can get in and try it out, and you only And it's right now it's up to like a certain amount of subscribers. So if you have like 500 or less subscribers, it's free and you get all the basics within MailerLite specifically. Now you can look at other ones and see how their pricing compares to what they offer and choose the best one for you in your price point. There's a few other things to keep in mind. So I do have a blog post that goes into a little more detail on everything I just talked about. So I'll link that below as well. But I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to these top 5 things that I want you to consider when you're choosing your email service provider. One is the price point. So you want to put yourself somewhere where you know you can grow with this platform, but you are also getting the features you need. So, second one, you got to see if it has automation potential. There are some really cheap, even free ones out there that will collect emails where you can just send emails out, but they don't have an automation feature at the free part. You want to make sure that you have a email service provider that can automatically send emails when a person signs up for something. So imagine this. You are selling a course. You email your list of people. Let's say you have 50 people on your list and you email them and say, "Hey, I'm hosting a course on Saturday, date, time. We're learning this, and I would love to invite you. It's only $35. Here's the button to buy. Here's the button to sign up." They click on it. They go, they put their name and information in this form, and they click pay, and they don't hear anything. An automation is after they fill out that form, they submit their information, and an email is automatically sent to their inbox so they know they're in, they've paid successfully, and their spot is booked for that class. So you want to make sure you have that automation so that it provides that professionalism and that immediate gratification of that emailed welcome. It's usually like a welcome letter that you send out that says, "You're in, welcome. Here's supplies you need for this quilting class, and I'll see you there on Saturday." And it's a very great feature to have. It's a great, very wonderful feature to have as a business owner online because they can sign up. Students will sign up all hours of the day. So you don't want to be asleep and then miss someone signing up and don't have that automated email to send out. Okay, so that was number 2. The third one is, do they have landing pages? Now, a landing page is kind of what I just described with that course example or that workshop example where they go to sign up. So they click on your button in that email and it takes them to a web page. That web page has the information on the class and a place to put in their information. That is essentially a landing page. Now, I do have another video on landing pages, so you can see more information if you want more information on landing pages. But you want to make sure your email service provider has landing pages if you don't have a website. So you can definitely have a business online without a website, though it is highly suggested. And if you are doing it that way, please make sure your email service provider has landing pages so you can collect your people's information for your class, for your patterns, for your service, whatever you're offering. Okay, so that's number 3. And number 4, ease of use. Ease of use. So make sure that you can get in and try the free trial if they offer one. Try the free version to see if you're able to get in there and click around and figure it out. So if you have a really hard time figuring how to set up an automation, Google it, of course, try to figure it out and use they always, not usually, they always have a support system, whether it's a chat, whether it's videos, an entire library of resources for you to use. Try to figure out the basic things you need, like setting up an email, setting up the automation to make sure that you can use this email service provider and that it's not confusing or really hard for you to get around. So ease of use. And then 5 is consider aesthetics. Aesthetics. So you want to make sure that you're able to create a brand with this email. So if you already have a basic website, or maybe a more than basic website, you want to make sure the email service provider you select meshes well. So if your email service provider only has, like I had one when I first started, that it was recommended to me by all these people. So that's the one I went with. And it was very bold. Like I say that because the font was always bolded. Like I couldn't pick a font that didn't look bold. And then like all of the boxes around each message were like looked weird and bold and it looked cheap. I wanted something that looked a little cleaner, that looked a little more feminine, I think I would say, like something more elegant. Maybe that's a better word. So when I saw the styles of email templates in MailerLite, which I use now, I saw the potential for that more elegant, more clean, more easy for me to get around when we go back to number 4, the ease of use. So that's what I ultimately went with was MailerLite when I considered the price point, making sure it had automation and landing pages, which I use both of those still today, ease of use, and then aesthetics. Okay, so I hope you found this video, not this email, but this video helpful in how to start a list. Oh, and to start the list. Okay, so I forgot to actually go into the how do you get started. So you would get started by choosing that email service provider. Number one, you got to choose one. Test 2 or 3 and then choose one. Okay. I have a lot of clients that they don't make that commitment. Now, the list is easy to move. If you just start, realize you don't like it. Even if you're in a little bit, it's still pretty easy to move. So anyway, okay. So choose one. Next, you're going to create a general audience group, or you can call it something more specific like your newsletter group. A group of the emails that everyone's going to join that's going to get your weekly communication or your monthly communication. And then you set up a form to join that list. So the form, so you log into your email service provider. You go to your forms. You create the form. Now, while you're creating the form, it's going to ask you to assign it. Assign a tag or a group, depending on your email service provider. They call it a couple of different things. MailerLite calls it a group. So you would create a new group because you're brand new. You have no groups. Your group is then the general group or your newsletter group, something where you could put everyone's email in so you can have consistent communication, whether that's weekly or monthly. And as you set up that form, you just need to have their name and email. That's what I would suggest. Name and email, and then create. And you're ready. After you create that form, MailerLite gives you a link. And same with any service provider that I've seen the back end on. After you complete that form, you now have a group created. And now you get a link so that you can share that link on a web page, in an email, on your Instagram bio, on your YouTube, so that people can click on that link and they're taken to the form, which is your little landing page, where they can put in their name and their email and join that group. Then from now on, all you got to do is write your email out in your email service provider, select that group that you want to send that email to, and click send or schedule it if you want to schedule that. So that's how you start an email list. It's fairly simple. Walk through, like I said, 2 or 3, figure out which one you can use easily, and then get started. Start building your email list and start emailing them, letting them know what you offer, what you create, who you are. So I hope you found this video helpful. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you want more content like this, and I will see you in the next video.